Hello, my name
All
is
available
Sean,
experts, please report to room A9.
and I'll be covering Forget Enigma.
There is only one perfect solution, but there are clues that will try to trick our team.
So, to start off with, well, you'll notice just like every Forget module, there's going to be a stage number in the top left, which will indicate the stage, obviously. And after each solved module, new information will appear on this module that you need to take, well, recordings of. And then the display to the right of that is basically the configuration of this Enigma machine. Now, how this configuration is read is from right to left. So, this top rotor, and you notice I'm using the interactive, this makes it a whole lot easier. This this right rotor is seen as Roman numeral 2. So that means this top rotor is Roman numeral 2. And the bottom rotor is Roman numeral 1, which means we'll keep it right there. And then finally, the last one is at least the last character on the left refers to a reflector, which will be from A to C, and we need to choose the correct reflector, which is B in this case. Still not done yet, because what we got to do is we got to shift these rotors so that it matches these letters here. Okay? Now again, these letters are read from right to left. So this top rotor is actually set to A. And the way that you set it is that this bottom letter here is actually all the way to the left in the leftmost column, which it already is. So this is already set correctly. But for the second rotor, that's supposed to be set to E. So E is right here. We need to shift this until it's all the way to the left, like so. And now we have a correctly configured Enigma machine that we're ready to use to decrypt our letters.
Emergency cleared. All personnel, please return to your stations.
The letter that you need to decrypt is the letter that is lit up, which is the one that has a white background with black text. So, to decrypt this letter, we're going to start at the very top here, which is at this keyboard level, and we're going to find the letter B, which is always from A to Z, and then we're going to follow this process. We're going to immediately drop down from here to the top row of the top rotor, getting us from B to J. Then we need to find this letter in the bottom row of the top rotor, leading us to this J over here. And then we're going to immediately drop down from this rotor to this rotor, to the top row of this rotor, to get W. And then we need to find W in the bottom row of this rotor. Then we're going to immediately drop down from here to get us S. Then we immediately drop down again to get Y. And then we're going to find Y in the top row of this reflector. Now we're going to do the same exact process, except we're going to go backwards. So instead of top to bottom, we're going bottom to top. So from this Y, we're going to immediately go up to the bottom row, which gets us a C. Find a C in the top row of the rotor, immediately go up. We got a uniform. Find uniform somewhere over there in the top row, and immediately go up to the hotel. And by that point, that is our decrypted letter. Okay, so B translates to H. And if you were to go, from H all the way back through again, it will get B. So it's kind of more of a reflective process here. Okay, now on a solved module, what happens is that these rotors will start shifting, and it will shift with very specific rules. Excuse me, I tripped on my own words there. So, when I solve the module, boop, you'll see that the right rotor here, or the top rotor, has shifted to B. On every module solved, the right rotor will always shift 1 up, in which case it will shift up to the B. So, when you're doing the interactive, you'll always shift to the left. And that's for every time a module solved, that rotor will shift 1. And then we'll also get, I didn't want to do that, we'll also get a new highlighted letter. So now we have an L. So from the L, we're going to go straight down to the W. W, we're going straight down to the J. From the J, if I can find it, we're going to go straight down to the F, which goes to the E, goes back around here. Then this E is going to go straight up to the I goes up to the S goes straight up to the D, and our L is decrypted to a D. Okay, let's solve another module. Thank you. We'll basically solve this, and you notice so we're going to shift this to the left once, and we're going to keep going through this whole process. So now we have uniform. So uniform translates to F, F translates to Q, Q translates to M, which goes down to D, goes down to H, H goes to N, N goes to R. Next one is decrypted is R. And we can do this a couple more times, and we're going to shift this to the once. We can do this a couple more times just so you get to see like the rhythm of this. So right now M is our letter here, so M goes to C, C goes to F, F goes to B, goes to Q, Q goes to U, U goes to Q, and Q goes to N. So N. Alright, let's solve another one. And we're going to shift this to the right once. And our new encrypted letter is C. So C goes to R, R goes to U, U goes to Q, which goes to B, B, Q, goes to F, F goes to D, D goes to Y. Now, before I go any further, the second rotor does shift, but on a very rare case of, well, depending on the top rotor. You notice in these rotors that a couple letters in each rotor, on the bottom row specifically, have asterisks next to them. And these asterisks determine how this bottom rotor is going to shift. Now, when this asterisk letter is in the leftmost column of the top rotor, on the next solved module here, both the top and bottom rotor are going to shift 1. So now, you notice now both of them are F. So I'm going to shift this one to F and this one to F. And then again with G being our encrypted letter, so from G goes to H, H goes to Q, Q goes to L, goes to J, J goes to O, O goes to M, M goes to J. Now I'm going to keep doing this whole process until I get through all the stages here. So give me a moment to do all that. Okay, I'm back here. And I've gone through all the stages. I did use a log analyzer just so I could get all the letters because I don't want to keep doing this for a long time. So once we have our decrypted letters and whatnot, what we're going to do is we have to input all the letters here. So once all the modules are solved, at least anyone that's not ignored, we're going to have to input the letter. So the first letter to input is H. And you notice that goes from stage 1 to stage 2, indicating that our first button press was in fact correct. So that would be a D next, then R, N, Y. And then J, H, Z, Q, F. If I can find F. And then, what if you did get a strike, such as instead of inputting B, I input V. So if I input this,
I'm afraid not.
You notice that now we're still stuck at this stage here. It'll give us our 2-letter configuration as well as the highlighted letter. So this is an F. Oh no, this one is an F. We need to shift this one to K. So that's FK. And we need to go from G to Q, Q to T, T to O to H, H to M, M to H, and H to B. So, oh yeah, it was B, not V. So B, Y, and O. And that is a solved module. Hope all of you enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, guys, keep talking and don't explode.